Welcome to our math lesson on inequalities. Today, we're going to explain why the inequality sign flips when we multiply or divide by a negative number. This is a concept that can be confusing at first, but it actually makes perfect sense when we understand how numbers work on the number line. Let's start by understanding how order works on the number line. On the real number line, smaller numbers are on the left and larger numbers are on the right. For example, -3 is less than 1, which we write as -3 is less than 1. On the number line, -3 is to the left of 1. Now, what happens when we multiply both sides of an inequality by a positive number? Let's multiply both sides of our inequality. -3 is less than 1 by +2. On the left side, -3 times 2 equals -6. On the right side, 1 times 2 equals 2. So our new inequality is -6 is less than 2. Let's see this on the number line. When we multiply by +2, -3 moves to -6, and 1 moves to 2. The order remains the same. -6 is still to the left of 2 on the number line. But what happens when we multiply both sides by a negative number? Let's multiply our original inequality. -3 is less than 1 by -1. On the left side, -3 times -1 equals +3. On the right side, 1 times -1 equals -1. So our new inequality would be 3 is less than -1, but that's not right. We know that 3 is greater than -1 on the number line. Let's see what's happening on the number line. When we multiply by -1, -3 moves to +3, and 1 moves to -1. The positions have flipped. The order is reversed. So, what's the correct way to write this? Since the order has flipped, we need to flip the inequality sign as well. The correct inequality is 3 is greater than -1. This leads us to the general rule. When you multiply or divide both sides of an inequality by a negative number, you must reverse the direction of the inequality symbol. Let's visualize why this happens. Multiplying by a negative number reflects all points across 0 on the number line. Points to the left of 0 move to the right, and points to the right of 0 move to the left. For example, -3 reflects to +3, -2 reflects to +2, and so on. Positive numbers like 1 or 2 reflect to negative numbers. This reflection reverses the order of all numbers, which is why we need to flip the inequality sign. Let's work through some examples to cement our understanding. Example 1. Solve the inequality -2x is less than 6. First, we need to isolate x by dividing both sides by -2. Since we're dividing by a negative number, we need to flip the inequality sign. So we get x is greater than -3. Example 2. Solve 5 minus 3x is greater than or equal to 11. First, let's subtract 5 from both sides. We get -3x is greater than or equal to 6. Now, we divide both sides by -3 and flip the inequality sign. The solution is x is less than or equal to -2. Let's formalize our understanding with a general rule. For any real numbers a and b, and any negative number c. If it is less than b, then c times a is greater than c times b. Similarly, if it is greater than b, then c times a is less than c times b. In conclusion, remember that multiplying or dividing by a negative number reverses the direction of the inequality. This happens because multiplication by a negative number reflects points across 0 on the number line, changing their order. By understanding this principle, you can correctly solve inequalities involving negative coefficients.